Well, it's about 3:30 in the morning. Getting ready to hit the road. Going to try to drive to close to North Dakota today. So I'm going to go on out and check on the guys, see how everybody's doing this morning. Good morning.
Morning. Morning, sir.
What are you doing getting us up this early, Herman?
Did you sleep any?
Off and on.
That's the way we were.
Off and on.
I went to sleep right after I lay down, and then I woke up. I heard them lay down at around 9:30, and I was awake. But
Yeah.
but that's the way it's been like that ever since I've been little, getting up early to go fishing. I couldn't sleep the night before.
Yep. Yep. It's exciting.
We'll take these with us. You can eat one now. You guys like blueberry muffins? We'll take these with us.
Is Bob raised from the dead yet? Has anybody seen him?
He ain't seen him.
He is moving.
What's going on in here?
Nothing much.
Did you hear me?
No.
Snoring or anything?
I didn't hear a thing.
Good.
Well, you smell good.
I know.
You put on some of that cologne this morning?
I didn't do Odeo Cologne. It's that air freshener over there.
Okay.
You know? So.
Alrighty. You ready for this?
I am.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So do.
You just crossed into Illinois.
Yeah.
So we're right on the line. Okay.
Is that where the White Sox play? Is that the?
In the Tompkins Gulf.
Trying to get video.
Yep, that's
Turning on Charlie Creek.
Here comes the dirt.
Road 146. We're getting close. Watch out, little girl.
That's his baby.
There you go.
The one right below here. It's open. It's a pool, but people have lived in there.
Oh, it's a luxury.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
In the basement, there's a stand-up shower. It's rough, but it works.
Hey.
You're hunting, right?
That's
so it's
right.
all right.
Give you a quick tour of our humble abode.
Not used to having this kind of luxury when we come out west. Little entry room here. Downstairs is a shower. We haven't tried it out yet, but we assume it works.
kitchen.
I don't know how he's talking, his mouth's full.
We're not supposed to be able to understand.
I'm talented. I'm a multitasker.
Yeah.
It's a mysterious language.
It is. It's our kitchen.
My,
All the luxuries of home.
get my Vaseline. Boy, that wind blowing. Dries
Yeah.
my lips, chops them.
Yeah, buddy.
Where Bob's sleeping.
Not sleeping. Bob sawing logs over there.
And this is Jim's spot.
He's in the night.
I will.
Nice and neat as always. Even have a TV. Can't pick up any stations, but there's some movies down there we might be able to watch. Here's my bed. My favorite color. This is Herman's. He claimed the actual bed, so he's got the best spot in the house. And then back around through here, around the corner is a little bathroom. Very nice. What are we doing, fellas?
Hey,
What are we doing? Huh?
what are we doing?
You look like you're carrying some shotguns. What's that mean? Huh?
We're
Birds?
hunting the local peasants.
There you go.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm doing the same thing. Herman's down there. He's going to walk back and try to flush some. So we're going to try to keep from shooting each other.
Here, you got first shot.
There's 2 bucks and a doe up there. I just sat down scouting the first morning, about 10 minutes into it. I'm going to get my binoculars out and confirm how many points they have. Okay, that's 2 4x4s. So out there they call them 4 points. They've got 4 points on each side. Just standing up there on the horizon as pretty as can be. They're 550 yards away. 550 yards. Here I am just a little bit closer. It's actually 2 4x4s and then like a 2x2 or a smaller spike like. I think they're looking at me, so I don't want to mess it up.
Well, I'm walking back to the truck. This is Friday, the day before the hunt. I decided to do some scouting this morning. A little apprehensive about it because I was afraid if I got up here I might spook too many deer. The rest of the guys took a truck ride looking for them from the road. Also took their shotguns and thought about doing some pheasant hunting. Boy, I've never seen so many mule deer in my life. I saw 11 bucks and 14 does. And I would say out of the 11 bucks, probably 8 or 9 of them were shooters, meaning they had at least 4 points on each side. I moved a couple of them and I thought, that's not good, I need to get out of here. So I sent Bob and Jim a text, and they're on their way back up here to the top to pick me up. It's about 9:30, and I think we're just going to kind of relax the rest of the day, put our strategy together for tomorrow, and then make sure we get out really early tomorrow so we can get set up in some good lookout points before daylight. So again, awesome morning. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope we can see him tomorrow. I'm sure we'll see him. I did learn today that boy, your binoculars and spotting scopes are an absolute necessity for this, because sometimes the naked eye won't see them because they're so far out there, and their eyesight's incredible, and there's a good chance they're going to see you before you see them. So it's really important that you glass and then put together a strategy to try to move around the hillside and use the terrain to get close. Play the wind and use the terrain. We're supposed to have extremely windy weather the next 3 days, which is not good, but what are you going to do? We're going to have to give it our best, which I'm sure we will. Well, it's a little after 12 o'clock, opening day. This morning started off extremely windy, and it's remained windy all day today. 20 to 30 solid, with 40, I'm sure at least 40 mile per hour gusts. Even had some rain and sleet this morning. We started off by dropping Bob off at the first point, and then Jim, and then Herman and myself went a little deeper. I stopped at my spot, and then Herman went on to his. I haven't seen any of them since we departed this morning, but I did get a text from Herman. He said that he'd seen eight muleys. I believe one of the 8 was a 3x3 that he passed on. He said he had it at 60 to 70 yards. He's looking for something bigger. I've seen 5 does. I saw 3 together, and then I saw 2 solo does. I got a text from Bob. He's seen 4. So I've found this little cubby hole here, and I'm going to eat a little bit of lunch, probably take a little nap, and get ready for the evening and see if things calm down a little bit this evening and the deer come out and give us a little more action than what we've seen so far. Give you an idea how windy it is. Herman's phone died. It's so cold his battery went dead, so we're going to head back in to the house, recharge the battery, and grab some coffee, and then come back out for the evening hunt. Woohoo! Bob, I like your toboggan. What is that? Is that a shirt?
To keep me from freezing to death.
Have you ever hunted in windier weather?
Never in my life. Never.
Well, it's day 2. It's about 6:30 in the morning. We're parked up at the drop-off point, and the guys have already taken off to go do their morning hunt, and I'm still sitting in the truck. on the way back to the truck last night, I saw a group of bucks, probably 5 or so, and I had to rush quickly to try to get a shot, so I took my backpack off, laid on the ground prone, kicked out my bipod. Didn't really even have time to range because they had started to jump a fence, so I wouldn't have a shot after they jumped the fence. So I rushing trying to get ready, and they all jumped the fence, and I thought, oh, I missed my opportunity. And then I saw, when I pulled my eyes back off the scope, I could see with my naked eye one still standing in the field, and I could tell he was a 4x4. At least that's what I thought he was. So I put the scope back up to my eye, and he was standing broadside, and I pulled the shot. And after I shot, he ran and jumped the fence just like the other ones. So I'm not sure if I hit him or not. I thought I heard the bullet hit him, but I'm not sure. And after the shot, I ranged it with my rangefinder, and he was actually 275 yards away, and I held for 200. So I think there's about a 5-inch drop, 4 to 5 inch drop between 200 and 275. So the bullet may have dropped a little low, and I may have clean missed him or hit him a little bit lower. So I'm waiting until daylight this morning. It's 28 degrees, so I didn't want to walk up there in the dark and just sit for 45 minutes. So I'm going to wait until it gets light enough where I can walk out and go look for him. Okay, these are the rocks that I marked the spot, or the general area where I shot him. I was down in that valley up there, looking up this way when I shot, and he jumped this fence, and there's a big ravine over here to the left. My guess is that's probably where he went. So I'm going to cross over the fence and start looking. So this is the ravine. They call them coulees, canyons. That my guess is he probably went downhill, and he might be down in that bottom if I ended up hitting him. But I think before I go down there, I'm going to walk out this high ground up here and see if he might have fallen up here before I put forth all the effort of going down in there, because boy, that can be some tough walking. Oh, I see a white bottom. That looks like him. All right. Oh, this should be an easy pack out, being up here high. That's got to be him. Worried about coyotes maybe getting into him, but it doesn't look like anything's messed with him. Well, here he is. As I said last night, coming out, basically given up on the day. Happened to stumble across a group of them, and just lots of scrambling to try to get laid on the ground, the bipod kicked out, get the crosshairs on him, and he stuck around just long enough for me to pull the shot. He ran about 75 yards. If I'd have looked a little harder, I could have found him last night, I'm sure, but I thought maybe he went down in the canyon over here to my right, but he just stayed up here on the high ground, and found him right off the bat this morning. So I'm going to quarter him and get him packed out and take him back to the house and put him on ice and enjoy the rest of the week, and hoping the other guys have some success too. Feel very blessed. Packing it out. I said her, it's a him. So, not too heavy, but heavy enough. Of course, it feels good to pack one out. All part of the work. So, got my hands full here, so I'm excited, I'm happy, and I'm ready to help the other guys hopefully have some success. It's the morning of day 3. Another day of wind forecasted. Killing us. Supposed to get gusts up to 40 miles per hour again today. So we're all layered up. The 3 guys took off earlier this morning. I'm sitting in the truck at the parking area. And again, I'm going to wait until it gets daylight. I'm going to go over and set up somewhere not too far from my deer carcass. I've got my rifle with me, and I'm going to see if I can see a coyote this morning and maybe get a shot on him. So that's the plan. Sometime later this morning, I'm going to head on into Culbertson, which is the nearest town. And I'm going to fill up the truck with some fuel. We're getting a little bit low on fuel. By doing that, we should have enough to last us the rest of the week. And then we've run short on a few little supplies, so I'll pick up some supplies and then head back and come back up on the hill and wait for the guys at the end of the day. Hopefully they'll have some luck. Those are the bushes you were talking about right there.
Yeah, that might be a little too high. Well, too far. I mean. Okay.
And I'm going to creep over that knoll right there and see what I can see on top of it and see if potentially those, you never know, those bucks could have come on over and they're hidden from us. I just shot my first coyote. I set up over top of my deer carcass from the other day. I could tell from overnight they had really been getting into it. And I hadn't been up here more than about 15 minutes. It's about, I don't know, 3:30 in the afternoon. And this guy came wandering in. He wasn't really near the carcass, but he was down in the valley. I don't know if he was headed that way or not, but about I'm going to say 75-yard shot. So anyhow, just wanted to share this experience with you. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Mr. Gleam.
This is the day after the kill, and Bob's going to show us how it went down.
I was here by the juniper, sitting here all day, getting ventilated with 30-mile-per-hour wind, and then it laid down almost at dark. And I noticed up where those 2 bucks just ran out,
down below what Trig and I call Stonehenge, which is over there, I saw 3 does come down and they vanished, and then I saw actually 2 does
Stonehenge.
and a spike. And then 2 bucks followed them down. Well, the does came down, wound their way down through here, and came out just above where the orange mark is out there. They were just above that, and they went up. And then I looked over there at one of those big, I don't know if it's a juniper tree or what it is, it's the second tree up the valley, and I saw a big white butt. And I knew I like big butts. And I knew that it was one of the bucks. Well, I crawled about 10-15 yards out here and kicked the bipod out. And I thought, which way are they going to go? They're going to go that way, or they're going to go that way? So I ranged it all, and as it turned out, they went to a little hollow behind this. Let's see, it'd be from here, it would be got 1, 2 on that third ridge, and both of them came up on that ridge, and that's about 213, 215 yards, and they were both looking right at me, both lined right at me and looking at me, and I put crosshairs right on the sternum of the one that had the rack that was the highest up, and I thought, let's see if he turns, and lo and behold, he turned facing to the left. I put her just behind his right shoulder and just a hair up because I knew I was a little over 200 yards and pulled the trigger, and they stood there. And I thought, no way, I missed. And then they both took off like a shot over the top of that hill down into the valley, and the one broke off that way and mine broke off and swung hard down there just where my orange jacket is, swung hard, and I thought I couldn't have missed. And then, hey, Murphy's Law applies, maybe I did. So I waited a few minutes and I started easing down through there, and by the time I got to where he is laying and had myself a hallelujah moment, it was starting to get dark and his body was already cool. The only thing warm on him was his feet, and I hit him right there. And his whole left side, I hit him right there, but that whole left side is mush. So that bullet did the work, and just, I don't know if it exited or not. I'm just so happy that I got it. So.
Awesome. Congratulations, Bob.
Thank you.
Very happy. Your first mule deer, right?
First mule deer, yes, sir.
Good, but your first mule deer hunt too, so.
First mule deer hunt too.
Awesome. You shot him with your 30-06?
Yes, at 213, 215 yards, and I had sighted in for 200, and it went exactly where I aimed it.
What round did you shoot out of it?
It was a 165 grain. It was a federal 165 grain trophy copper, and it did the job.
Okay.
It did the job.
All right. So when we walked up here this morning, we saw 9 up here. So this is a good little honey hole for him.
There's water. Yep, water to the behind us. Down there, another couple 300, 400 yards. There's water behind us, and they've got stuff they can eat in here, and they can be invisible.
It's about 29 degrees this morning. It's going to get up, I think, in the low 60s today, and the wind is going to lie a little bit today. So Jim and Herman are on the hunt today. This is our 4th day of hunting. So Bob got his on the 3rd day, and we're going to walk up to it and check it out. Here comes the successful hunter. Oh yeah.
Life is good.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Trig.
Well, it's the last day of the hunt, day 7. It's really the first day that we've had that's been ideal weather. It was about 15 degrees this morning. Winds are very minimal today, so it's perfect. Jim's down at the river bottoms looking for either whitetail or mule deer. Herman is over at a place that we've affectionately named Juniper. There's what we think is a juniper tree there that is a real good ambush point. It's where Bob killed his. We've hunted that spot a lot since Bob killed his, and we've seen deer there every single hunt. Last night, Herman had 4 bucks and a doe start working their way down towards him. One of the bucks had a pretty decent rack, bigger than the one I killed, and there was a pretty big-bodied buck in that group too, but they started working their way down towards Herman, but it was starting to get dark, and he didn't feel that they were going to make it to him in time, so he put on a stalk, and as he came up over the top of the hill, they spotted him and took off. I'm coyote hunting today. On my way walking back here this morning, I saw 16 deer. I believe they were all does. So the deer appear to be moving pretty good today. So I'm sure Herman will be out all day. Most likely Jim will be also. Bob's also coyote hunting this morning. And Bob and myself are going to head back down to the house in a couple hours and get the truck cleaned up. It's got about a 1/4 of an inch of dust in the bed of the truck that we want to get cleaned out, so we're going to take a hose and wash that out. And then I'll probably be back up here this evening for our last evening, and I'll either be coyote hunting again or hook up with Herman and help him glass for deer. So it's been a great week, and I'm very hopeful for Herman and Jim today. And here's my view of the hills up here. Just beautiful.